Craig, fight the fat girth.
Me with a bachelor's of physics.
Numpty dipshit. 8 May 2020.
Even though the whole thing is rotating at the same speed, right?
Wrong. Number 1, the Earth isn't rotating. You're guilty of
Petitio principii. The logical fallacy of begging the question. A particular argument which commits the fallacy of begging the question, a circular argument.
Me with a bachelor's of physics.
Number 2, if the Earth was rotating, the whole thing wouldn't be rotating at the same speed, as in tangential speed. However, every point on a rotating sphere or platform has the same angular velocity. The problem is you're a pretender clown numpty dipshit that doesn't know the difference between tangential speed and angular velocity. You'd fail junior high intro to physics.
Me with a bachelor's of physics.
I toe tagged the same numpty dipshittery from you 24 March 2020 on Quantum Eraser channel. Each tear-jerking belly laugher claim alone, and there's 6, is enough grounds to be hung for pretender clown Dunning-Kruger numpty dipshittery fraud. Here's the highlights demonstrating this numpty pretender clown dipshittery in spades.
And that is to do with the angular velocity of the Earth at certain latitudes.
Fatality.
Me with a bachelor's of physics.
You dumbass.
If the Earth was rotating, each latitude would have the same angular velocity.
Now, if you're at the equator, the angular velocity is approximately 1,000 miles an hour.
Fatality.
Me with a bachelor's of physics.
Folks, angular velocity is measured in radians, or degrees, or revolutions per unit time, not distance per unit time.
And if you were to go north, you would go into an area of lower angular velocity.
Fatality.
Dude, my word, man. From physicstutorials.org, unlike tangential velocity, angular velocity of all points on the platform doing circular motion are equal to each other, since the number of rotations per unit time are equal.
The Earth doesn't rotate 1,040 miles an hour. That is an angular velocity.
Fatality.
The angular velocity is 1,000 odd miles an hour.
Oh!
Are you serious? Are you...
Fatality.
The rotation is not 1,030 miles an hour. The angular velocity is 1,030 miles an hour at the equator.
Me with a bachelor's of physics.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I don't think you fully grasp how batshit insane Dunning-Kruger, pretender clown moronic, the past 6 statements are. Even if you had no training in physics whatsoever, as soon as you hear angle or angular, meters or miles or kilometers per unit time should trigger the full tilt alarm bell that you're off the f***ing reservation, never to return. Good God, man. This entire fiasco is akin to asking Craig, "Hey, what's your weight?" He responds, 35 degrees. "Hey, what's the angular size of your crayon box at 10 paces? His response, 220 kilos.
Me with a bachelor's of physics.
Back to the regular scheduled programming.
It's that that difference in the tangential velocity that would mean for an observer in the inertial reference frame, it would appear to deviate for them.
You are one dizzy motherfucker. The apparent, meaning not actual deviation, isn't occurring in the inertial reference frame, you delusional putz. It's occurring in the non-inertial rotating reference frame because the observer's rotating, giving the appearance of deviation when it's actually not.
Because they are part of the reference frame that it's all moving in.
The inertial reference frame is the one that's not moving, hence the name inertial.
You dumbass.
You're a moron. You're just making shit up.
So even though from the outside observer it appears it's going in a straight line.
What?
Fatality.
You just contradicted yourself, Mr.
Me with a bachelor's of physics.
Magoo. Just 5 seconds ago you said,
For an observer in the inertial reference frame, it would appear to deviate for them.
the observer in the inertial reference frame is your outside observer. So which one is it? Going in a straight line or deviating for them? Moreover, the only way in your fairy tale you can have an observer in the inertial reference frame is to have that observer on the object that's left the non-inertial spinning reference frame, or have him hovering untethered above that same non-inertial spinning reference frame. Furthermore, from the outside observer, meaning the observer in the inertial reference frame, it doesn't appear to be going straight. It is going straight. You treat objects like women.
For the person that's in the same reference frame as the thing that is moving from one area of tangential velocity to another, it would deviate.
Wrong. For the person in the same reference frame as the object that has left the non-inertial spinning reference frame, that is, both are in the inertial reference frame, there will be no deviation. That person will see the object going straight. By the way, Clown Show, you just admitted that.
From the outside observer, it appears it's going in a straight line.
Your brain-dead baller compadres better come and tackle your dumb ass and stuff some dirty socks in that incoherent pie hole of yours, son, because you're really screwing the pooch with your convoluted made-up horse shit.
The Coriolis force is not the Earth rotating under things.
From Physics About, the Coriolis effect is an apparent effect, an illusion produced by a rotating frame of reference. This type of effect is also known as a fictitious force or an inertial force. The Coriolis effect occurs when an object moving along a straight path is viewed from a non-fixed frame of reference. Typically, this moving frame of reference is the Earth, which rotates at a fixed speed. When you view an object from the air that is following a straight path, the object will appear to lose its course because of the rotation of the Earth. The object is not actually off its course. It only appears to be doing so because the Earth is turning beneath it.
The Coriolis force is not the Earth rotating under things.
Me with a bachelor's of physics.
Turn out the lights, the party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over.
What the Coriolis actually is and it's actually referred to in several physics books as the law of conservation of angular momentum.
Doofus law of identity violation. Yeah, we'd sure like to see those several physics books. Did you get them from the Rocco Club O School for Typewriter Maintenance Physics Department? You're a pretender clown bozo, son. From Boston University Physics, the law of conservation of angular momentum states that when no external torques act on a system, the angular momentum of the system is conserved. As opposed to the Coriolis effect, from Sigard Douglas, Introduction to Ocean Sciences, 2nd edition, Critical Concept Reminders. When set in motion, freely moving objects including air and water masses move in straight paths while the Earth continues to rotate independently. Because freely moving objects are not carried with the Earth as it rotates, they are subject to an apparent deflection called the Coriolis effect. To an observer rotating with the Earth, freely moving objects that travel in a straight line appear to travel in a curved path on the Earth. Yeah, that sure sounds like the law of conservation of angular momentum. Basketballs and boll weevils have more in common.
Me with a bachelor's of physics.
Psst. You will never, ever recover.
You know who this is?
No!
Bye-bye, lard ass.